day, sir. Good day. This is the Citizens Home and Diaspora Initiative Television and its media crew. We are advocates of good governance, the weak and the vulnerable in the society. Sir, first of all, I want to welcome you to this platform.
Thank you so much.
Because you are the member contesting for House of Assembly in Plateau State, just Northwest constituency. We witnessed a staggering crowd of supporters at the Tudunwada Motor Park. Please tell us about your aspiration in general.
Thank you so much. It will be good for me to introduce who I am. I'm by name Mark Sunday Naah, and the flag bearer for APC for 2023 general elections. By the grace of God, I happens to be the flag bearer today. I want to say this is the grace of God, and this is the voice of the people speaking. For me, as a young person, what actually triggered me for contesting in those general elections is the fact that one, of course, as a believer, is to represent God. Secondly, also to represent the good people of just Northwest, which is paramount. Looking at the lapses we have seen from where we are. I've been a community leader for years, and by the special grace of God, we have forum where we interact with other members in the whole of Just North. Right. Where I can actually tell you some peculiar problems that has to do with every of this community. I may not see it all, but to some extent from our interaction as leaders, I can actually depict to see one or two things that is peculiar to certain communities. And these are issues that we felt they should be presented, or they should have a way of bringing up solution by our political officers. Of course, you agree with me on the fact that I'm aspiring, yes, to be a legislator. We cannot say, or I cannot say I want to jump into the executive functions. I have to actually look at what is the function of a legislator. One of the basic function of a legislator is, of course, making laws. And by the special grace of God, if given the mandate, as one of my roadmaps, is to also see how we can be able to support quality and bills, motions being raised on the floor of the House by either myself or other colleagues. Of course, we'll look at the point of interest. I'm representing the people, and whatever must be passed on the floor of the House, I must also consider what will be the interest of my people, which is a focal point for me. And whatever has the interest of my people and the good people of Plateau as a whole, of course, I will support it. Now, looking at some of the things I trust God to do is the fact that we cannot deny the fact that security is a major challenge in our state today, whether you're in town or in rural areas or urban centers. We all share in the collective damage anytime anything happens anywhere. So therefore, one of the key things is to see if we have Operation Rainbow, is to also review to see do we have any law that actually supporting that Operation Rainbow to come into full flesh? What is actually militating its function? How can we be able to support this local policing to strengthen it in order to function properly? If there are no laws, of course, by the grace of God, I want to tell you that I'll be the first person to make sure that I raise a motion in respect to that. If there is already a bill, what is actually stopping the bill? How can we be able to strengthen such a bill? So the truth of it all is to see how we can be able to. It's a collective work. It's going to be a collective work. It has to do with a lot of lobby. You have to meet some of your colleagues, whom also, by the grace of God, you all meet at the floor of the House to make these decisions together. You have to meet them one-on-one. Others, you wouldn't want to wait until you're able to present a case right before the floor of the House before before they're getting to hear of it for the first time. So basically, you just have to move, create a relationship, make people understand, explain to people whatever you have, your plans, and what the intention it is to the good people of Plateau. And then, of course, the issue of restricting trucks. I want to tell you confidently that being from Kabong and Polo is very close to where I reside. It has become like a normal thing that all the time trucks come in, accident, kill people, a lot of damages, and you can attest to that. Right now, the famous veterinary center is completely damaged, simple because of an accident caused by a truck. How can we be able to do what other states are doing? I want to tell you that we're already working. I'm already thinking, if elect, to see how we can be able to raise a motion in the floor of the House. Let's come up with the restrictions. If Kaduna, Bauchi, Gombe can actually have these restrictions for trucks, I think we can also do it on the plateau. For me, I feel it's very important. This will not just minimize the rate of accident being experienced within the megacity, but also it will definitely enhance the lifespan of our routes, because this will mean that we will create alternative routes. Of course, it's going to be a collaboration between the legislative arm and, of course, the executive arm, because there are certain trucks that, whether we like it or not, they must come to the mega cities. So, what we're saying here is, let there be a restriction as to what time are they permitted to come into the mega cities, and as at what time are they expected to pull out of the community. What would be the sanction of any truck being found wanting? I think if there are heavy sanctions on that, believe me, every truck driver will want to also adhere to whatever rule has been set. Now, also the executive arm, of course, from the legislative arm, we cannot say we will provide a means or a parking space for these trucks. That is where the collaboration will come together with that of the executive arm, to provide a parking lodge for all of those trucks that are coming in before time, so that they can be able to park. And as far as they park, we have what is already practiced here in town, park and pay. That could also serve as a source of revenue for our dear state. So, and then those that it's not very necessary for them to come down to town, they can also follow the alternative routes we have to move to wherever they are going to. So in doing so, I want to strongly believe we are using one problem to curtail a lot of other problems, and also to raise funds for the state. As a young person, I don't know what laws the state have in respect to cultism, alcoholism, and all of that. But I want to tell you that this is an area that I'm very much more interested on. I also want to look at it, put a review on it. If there are other laws, that what does the law says? How can we be able to improve on the law? Because we cannot wait, we cannot wait under our watch. Our young people are just killing themselves. It is something that, if elect, I will also give a major priority to. Of course, a lot of other legislative functions will follow. This is just a few, but of course, there are other oversight functions like the constituency projects, which a lot of people seems to target as the major function of a legislator, which is not true. Therefore, one thing that I want to say here is, of course, there are constituency projects like borehole constructions, grading of roads, at whatever the capacity of a legislator can afford. Of course, we will be able to do that. But again, I want to say this: what actually makes me an outstanding candidate from every other candidate is the fact that I don't think I'm going to wait for the government to give us money. Where we can be able to collaborate with NGOs, where I have been working over the years, we'll collaborate with them in order to be able to enhance and better the life of our people, because our people here is our concern. And as far as we're able to improve the standard of our people, either by road construction, either by providing boreholes, or either by supporting them with quality education, I think this is what gives us joy. And for me, this is one of the major priorities in which I'll be focusing on. And all about our roadmap will be service delivery. Well, I don't promise people anything, But one thing I promise is, as a young candidate, if elect, one thing I can actually keep is what other politicians are scared of. And what is that thing? Town hall meetings. Because they are scared, they may be challenged. I need those challenges so that I can be able to improve my service delivery. This is just the roadmap in which I have today. Thank you so much.
Outstanding.
My message for the youth is in clear terms. Any politician asking you to engage yourself into thuggery for political reasons, I want you to also challenge such a politician. Can he give you either his brother, his sister, or his children to also be part of the process? Let them also take the lead. If that is the only option for them to succeed, let that who belongs to their family take the lead, and then you follow suit. Therefore, what I'm trying to say in essence is, you will never see some of those politicians, their siblings, their children, their beloved ones are actually well behaved. They actually pick our brothers from the streets to say, come, engage them with peanuts, that afterwards it cannot really solve their problem. It cannot solve one problem that probably they are having, not to talk of solving their entire problem. Therefore, I want to call on the youth. Never allow yourself to be used as a talk in the hands of any politician. And as far as I'm concerned, there has never been a time where all politicians are scared like the 2023 elections. Now with the beavers, I want to assure people, if going by what INEC are promising us, I want to attest to the fact that every vote will count. So therefore, any politician that doesn't have people should begin to go and scout for people. And if you cannot be able to go and scout for people, you can wait for 2023. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. And we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.